Lengths of chords and secants. Today, as I'm going to be honest with you, compared to the last one, pretty easy. All right, here we go. Chord. If you have two chords that intersect inside the circle, to find lengths, you just take this, the red times the blue plus the green times the red. You take the parts and multiply them together and set them equal if you have chord. Okay? So let's try that. Well, 6 times 5 is 30, equals 8 times x is 8x. 30 divided by 8 is 3.75. Yes, it's that easy. All you got to do is solve for x there. If I do that right, 30 divided by 8, 3.75. Okay? Chord. Multiply them together and set them equal. All right. Secant. You got to think about this one for a secant now. If you have two secants outside the circle, you got to be careful with this one. But the formula is to find the lengths, whole enchilada. So AE times the outside, whole enchilada times outside. Right here says it best in the theorem. Whole times outside equals whole times outside, the whole thing. Okay, so if I'm looking at this is secant. I'm going to take the whole, x and 8. Be careful now, that is x plus 8. Put that in parentheses, times the outside, which is 8, equals the whole thing here, 9 plus 7 is 16, times the outside, which is 7. Okay, so then I got to distribute 8x plus 64 equals, I got to take 16 times 7, which is 112. Then I got to subtract 64, 112 minus 64. And then divide by 8, which gets you all the way down to x equals 6. Okay? Whole times outside equals whole times outside. Don't be the meathead that makes, this is 8 plus x, not 8x. Make sure you write it like that. Okay? Let's try that again. There. Whole would be 39 times outside of the bottom would be 9 equals outside of the top would be 13. Whole top would be z plus 13. Okay? I'm going to go 39 times 9. Do this one a little bit different. That's 351. Then I can divide by 13. 351 divided by 13 is 27. So now we have 27 equals z plus 13. Subtract 13, and you get z is 14. Okay? You can do it either way. Distribute. You should still land on 14 no matter how you do it. Whole times outside equals whole times outside. Okay? Giddy up. All right. Tangent. Remember, a tangent hits the circle at one spot. So the final thing here is the secant tangent product theorem. Kind of like the secant, except the secant, you do the whole times the outside, and you set that equal to the tangent squared. So whole times outside equals tangent squared. Okay? So let's look at that. We've got a secant and a tangent. So whole secant would be 20, times outside of the secant would be 5, equals the tangent x squared. Well, that's 100 equals x squared. Take the square root and you get 10. Okay? Let's try that one more time. Whole would be, or outside would be 7 times the whole thing, 7 plus y, equals the tangent, which is 10 squared. So that's 100. So then we can take 100 divided by 7 and then subtract 7. So that gets you down to y equals 7.28. So whole times outside equals tangent squared if you're given a secant and a tangent. Okay?